What was that about being homeless, Kevin? Inside Yellowstone star Costner's $80 million mini-town in Aspen as he claims ex-wife's refusal to leave their $145 million California compound has left him unable to live in his own home. Kevin Costner sealed his status as Hollywood royalty with Dances with Wolves in 1990. So it's fitting that he named his palatial $80 million Aspen estate in honor of his character. Dubbed the ultimate luxury retreat, the sprawling 160-acre Dunbar Ranch is so vast it's been likened to a mini-town. The property has 12 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms, and can comfortably sleep 27 people. The grandiose ranch also has its own baseball field, caretakers on the site 24/7, private fishing lakes, and a golf putting range. Many would consider it the perfect escape for Costner, 68, as he fights his estranged wife, Christine Baumgartner, over her refusal to leave his $145 million house in Carpinteria, California, in what appears to have become a bitter divorce. The Oscar winner, who's worth an estimated $250 million, has suggested in court papers seen by DailyMail.com that he's now homeless, despite the option of Dunbar Ranch as a base. Baumgartner, for her part, says it is Costner who is trying to make their 3 children homeless by forcing her to leave the California compound that served as the family home. Aerial photos reveal the sheer scale of the estate named after Lieutenant John J. Dunbar, which even appears to be undergoing construction to add even more amenities. Set within a stunning valley 6 miles outside Aspen, the main property enjoys fabulous views of the surrounding country, including 2 private fishing lakes stocked with trout. The Roaring Fork River, known for its fast-flowing, clear waters, cuts through the lush grassland around the property. The baseball field, which has its own sports house, is named Field of Dreams, a nod to Costner's 1989 movie of the same name. He's a lifelong lover of the sport, and has been spotted attending Texas Longhorns games, while staying at yet another of his homes in the Lone Star State. Dunbar Ranch is maintained by a team of support staff, who also have their own lodgings on the estate. There are also horse corrals and a golf putting range. In fact, the luxury estate has so much to offer that it was recently listed on the rental market for $36,000 per night. The listing boasts that it's located in serene seclusion, yet only minutes away from downtown Aspen. Pristine landscape, breathtaking views of the Continental Divide, and 3 exquisite homes on the property makes this compound the ultimate luxury retreat, it adds. Costner purchased the land in 2000 before transforming into a picturesque paradise. He most recently played ranch owner John Dutton in the acclaimed Western series Yellowstone. Costner scooped a Golden Globe Award in January for Best Actor. The win marked the first ever Golden Globe nomination for the show, which premiered in 2018. The property was put up for rent in January by Amy Mottier, with Coldwell banker Mason Morse. Costner's ongoing separation from Baumgartner took a dramatic turn this week when he claimed she won't leave their California mansion, and had spent $95,000 on his credit card. It also emerged she has a restraining order against him. In court papers seen by DailyMail.com, the actor's lawyers claim that they have made multiple offers to get his wife to move out of the former marital home, but have failed to reach agreement with Christine, 49, a model-turned-handbag designer, leaving him effectively homeless. Costner, 68, remarks, "This is surprising and disheartening to me." He adds, "I was married once before and, upon separation, found myself without home base and unable to live in my own home. I never wanted this to happen again." Costner is worth $250 million, and under the terms of the prenup, signed in 2004, she was to leave his properties if they split and relocate, using a $1.2 million fund to find a new house. Costner alleges that his former spouse is in breach of that agreement, saying that he now wishes to move back into the huge house which they shared. She was spotted at the property on Wednesday. The lawyers said, "What is happening now is exactly what he and Christine contracted to avoid in the event their marriage failed." Christine has accepted the benefits of the PMA, premarital agreement, over the years, but now refuses to accept this one burden. Both sides seem to be preparing for a War of the Roses-style legal battle over their huge $145 million house in Carpinteria, California. It is owned solely by Costner, and he bought it in 1988, long before their 2004 wedding. Costner, who has been filming in Utah for the past few months, is complaining that he needs a home as he will be off location from early June. Extraordinarily, he says that he was made homeless during his last divorce. The house next door, also owned by him, is used, he says, as a place to edit films. He says that he funded Christine's 2 failed businesses both before and during the marriage, and says that she was happy to benefit from the premarital agreement for years, but is now seeking to ditch it. Costner alleges that following their separation, she charged $95,000 to his credit card without prior notice to me. That money was spent on lawyers and on a forensic accountant. Meanwhile, Costner claims she wants the world to see the financial details of the prenuptial agreement which they signed, but insists that this would put him under risk of irreparable harm from fraudsters or burglars, and be likely to attract unwanted and embarrassing global media attention. Christine filed for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences on May 1st. She gave the date of separation as April 11. In his response, Costner, 68, marks the date of separation as TBD, or to be determined. They have children: Caden, 15, Hayes, 14, and Grace, 12. Both have asked for joint legal and physical custody of the children. The Disso Queen Laura Wasser is acting for Costner. In the initial response to the divorce filing, she asked for the payment of spousal support pursuant to the terms of the parties' premarital agreement. On June 8, Christine's side filed a restraining order against Costner, which forbids him from taking the children out of the state and transferring or selling any property. On June 9, Costner's side filed a request for an order to kick Christine out of the house, a filing known as a preliminary injunction prohibiting petitioner from occupancy. It also requests that the premarital agreement is sealed, which would ensure it is kept private, and asks that a court determine the validity of the premarital agreement separately to considering other matters in the divorce, in order to speed things up. But in a new legal filing on June 14, Baumgartner's attorneys claim Kevin is seeking to kick Christine and their 3 children out of the house that the children have lived in for their entire lives. Her legal team argues that she's no intention of going, with her lawyer John R. Rydell too writing in the latest filing. The legal basis for Kevin's request to kick his wife and children out of their home is all but non-existent. But this is still a matter of critical importance to Christine. The home, a $145 million mansion in Carpinteria, is owned solely by Costner and was purchased before the marriage. However, Kevin has been quick to fire back at his former spouse, insisting in his own legal response, again seen by DailyMail.com. "I would like to make it clear that I am not kicking our children out of their home. Christine and will be sharing equal physical custody of our children, and they will be in their home, in their bedrooms, with their clothing, books, and belongings during the time that they are at my custody, and any additional time that they would like to be there. Our children are teenagers and may come and go between my home and Christine's home once she finds new residence. Therefore, our children have nothing to do with my request. I'm only requesting that Christine vacate my separate property home and find alternate living arrangements, which she agreed to do and should have begun doing so in April, when she decided to file for divorce." Kevin also set a deadline for when he says his estranged wife must vacate the property, noting that he will finish filming on his 3-part Western movie series Horizon in Utah on June 24, and must then return to his home in California, where he will edit the movie per his contract.